Welcome back with a smiling face. Links to previous episodes are given in the video description, so don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video. Silent Dreams, Hidden Strength. Episode 3. Chapter 29. Ryland's all my effort was worth it. Just seeing that bright smile on her face makes my day, and being the reason behind that smile gives a satisfaction. The toughest part was the dinner. I know nothing about cooking, but the chefs at the restaurant helped a lot. And the result was good. After dinner I gave her the pendant I had brought for her. Her eyes reflected pure happiness. I was happy to see her like this. I want her to always be this way. We arrived at her pack house and went straight to our room. I know she is exhausted and I am too. We showered one by one. Sierra wore one of my t-shirts and some shorts. She was drowning in my clothes but still looked adorable. We snuggled together in the bed, seeking warmth from each other. I pulled her more to me, her back pushed against my chest. Her scent was like an addiction, but I don't mind being an addict. Good night baby, sweet dreams. Good night Ryland, dream happy, she said in a sleepy voice. I chuckled softly at her choice of words. She was truly an adorable baby. I kissed her cheek and closed my eyes. After some time sleep took over. Ryland, wake up, wake up. A soft voice said in my ear and soft hands shook my body. I knew it was Sierra, so I teased a little. I grabbed her hands and pulled her on top of me, eyes still closed. As soon as she fell on me, I closed my hands around her body, so she won't get off. Uff, let go, she said, but her voice was muffled. No. I said and gave an evil laugh. Ryland, I can't breathe. She said and took 2 long breaths. I quickly let her go and held her hand. Sorry, are you okay? I didn't mean to. I was cut off by her laugh. I narrowed my eyes at her. She tricked me. That adorable little thing, can't even get mad at her. A small smile made its way to my lips. I hugged Sierra and sighed. You got me worried there, I said, and she just laughed. God, I love her laugh. You should laugh more, I said, and guess what she did? Laugh. Okay. Now get out of bed, today is Friday and I have to go shopping. We are visiting your parents tomorrow, remember? She said, and I mentally face-palmed. How could I forget? Oh yes, I forgot. Now that Nina is busy with Adam, I will accompany you, baby doll, I said and flicked her nose. I showered already, not get you in the bathroom before I eat your breakfast, she attempted to threaten me. But she failed. How cute. I just smiled and kissed her. She squealed at my surprise action but did not protest. I pulled away and gave her a sheepish look. Get up, Ryland. It took me less than 5 seconds to run to the bathroom. I showered, brushed my teeth and whatnot, before I was fully dressed to go out. Sierra wore a simple white v-neck and blue jeans. I took her hand in mine and went downstairs for breakfast. I sat on my seat and pulled Sierra on my lap as always. Joey came in and served everyone. I looked at Mason and then at Morgana. Both were engrossed in a talk with each other. I have to do something for people here. People like Joey and Sierra, who are defenseless. Alpha Mason, do you realize that a child, around the age of 6 to 7 is being force-labored in the pack of yours? I asked in a hard tone, that I use when I attend serious business. Yes, Alpha Ryland, he answered. I closed my eyes and sighed. He didn't even know this act is an offense in both human and werewolf world. Such an ignorant. Well, Alpha Mason, if you don't stop these illegal practices, then according to the werewolf law I have to arrest you and you will be punished, or better yet, stripped off your title. I said, my eyes still focused on Sira, as I was slowly feeding her as always. Everyone looked at me with widened eyes and mouth open. Yes, I have the power to do that. I am an uncrowned king. My family is respected all over the continent, even the whole world, and we were voted to become the council. A council to keep the werewolf laws into action. To keep bastards like Mason, leeched. You can't do that, Mason stuttered. Try me, he huffed and nodded in defeat, obeying my order. From now on, everyone will do their own. No one is going to do your work for you, so you better learn to do it yourself, I said and finished feeding Sira and myself. They all nodded and I got up, with Sira. We were planning to go to the mall, because she wanted to get something for my parents. We arrived at the mall and she started looking around for an appropriate gift for my parents. She would ask for my opinion every now and then. After 2 hours of roaming every store in sight, Sira finally found a suitable gift for my parents. God, shopping is tiring. Then we brought some accessories to go with the dress she is wearing at the party. By the time we were done, it was already lunchtime, so we decided to eat at a small restaurant. We were seated in a corner table. The place was full, but not stuffy. A waitress approached us with 2 menus. I guess she wore her little sister's dress, it was tiny. The moment I saw her I disliked her. I kept my eyes focused on my Sira, who was sitting beside me. I took her hand in mine and caressed it. Hey, what would you like to have, mister? The sultry voice made my head ache. Baby, look at the menu and tell me whatever you want, I told Sira and gave her the menu. She scanned her eyes around the menu and sighed. She bit her bottom lip and turned to me. I raised an eyebrow expectantly. I would like a bowl of tomato soup with crisp toasted bread with the side of mixed salad. Grilled chicken with barbecue sauce with the side of green salad for Ryland. That would be all. Thank you, Sira said and flashed the waitress a winning smile. The waitress took our order and left, and that's when I broke out laughing. That was hilarious. Did you see her face? Oh my God, Sira. I love you. I pulled her to me and kissed her forehead. I hope you don't mind me ordering for you. Oh hush. I like that you ordered for me. And I like what you ordered for me. I said. Our order arrived 15 minutes later and we digged in. The food was really good, but not as good as Sira makes. She serves heaven on plates. On our way home it was silent. No one spoke. It was not an uncomfortable silence, a peaceful one. We just held hands and smiled at each other occasionally. We reached the pack house and went straight to our room. Nate was not here today. Mom had called him to help her with some arrangements. I have to go back to my pack soon and I plan to take my Sira with me. Tomorrow after the party I will ask her to move in with me, to the pack house. Hope she says yes. After we were refreshed we watched a movie and cuddled on the bed. It was now time for dinner. We went down and took our seats. I noticed that the dinner was cooked by the Omegas and everyone is serving themselves. I mentally smiled. We ate dinner quietly. Sira's eyes started to droop and was yawning every so often. I finished dinner and carried her upstairs. I laid her down on the bed and changed my clothes. I didn't change her clothes, I don't want her thinking I'm a PT, so I let her be. Lying beside her I pulled her to me and rested my head in the crook of her neck. Inhaling her scent calmed me down a little. Tomorrow she will be meeting my pack. My parents. I am not worried about them accepting her. I'm worried if she will accept them. What if she's afraid? What if she thinks it's too early? Will she think I'm pushing her? There are many what ifs. But I guess I have to wait till tomorrow. With that thought I snuggled into my Sira's warmth and let darkness take over me. Chapter 30. Serena. I was a nervous wreck. I was calm from the outside, but inside I was freaking out. I didn't know the thought of meeting Ryland's parents would affect me so much. I can't believe how I was so calm yesterday. I was happily shopping for gifts for his parents, and now I think I will pass out. What if they don't like me? What if they feel I'm not worthy of Ryland because I was an Omega? What if his pack hates me? Oh God! I am going crazy. Baby, you ready? We have to leave, Ryland poked his head from the door and said. His voice somehow mysteriously calmed me down a little. Or maybe the fact that he will be with me the whole time. I gave myself one last look in the mirror and sighed. I took my purse and opened the door for Ryland. I wore a light pink floor-length dress. It was a theme party. Ladies have to wear gowns and men have to wear suits. Ryland chose the dress for me and I'm really glad he did. It looks pretty good on me. I wore diamond studs and the ruby pendant that Ryland gave me. It didn't match with the gown, but I'm never gonna take it off my neck. It's very special. Whoa, you look like a princess. Ryland's voice brought me out of my thoughts. He was looking at me with wide eyes. By the time he observed me, I took the liberty to check him out. He was wearing a black suit with a pink shirt and a grey tie. I can't believe he actually wore a pink shirt. I thought he will wear a white shirt or something. 'Cause you know, guys don't wear pink, but he said he will match with me and he selected the pink dress. He pulled me to him and kissed me, catching me off guard. I was stunned at first, but soon responded to him. After a beautiful kiss he looped his hand in mine and escorted me downstairs. Everyone was staring at us. They knew we were going to his pack, and most of the people assured me that no one will like me there. But Ryland said his pack will like me and his parents already love me. I believe both of them. But I believe Ryland more than them, so I am not that scared, but I can't help be nervous. Ryland opened the back door of the expensive car he owns and closed the door behind me. Soon he slid beside me and the driver started to drive. It was an hour drive and I was already clutching Ryland's hand for dear life. Baby, don't worry, they all already love you. You have absolutely nothing to worry about. Believe me, he said and squished me to his side. I believe him, but I don't believe in my luck. I seem to have absolutely no luck when it comes to matter like these. I believe you. I placed my head on his shoulder and he stroked my hair with his large warm hands. Sir, we are here. As soon as those words left the driver's mouth I felt my throat getting dry. I took a deep breath and closed my eyes. I opened my eyes and Ryland gave me a reassuring smile. I smiled a shaky smile. He got out of the car and came to my side to open the door. I took his outstretched hand and got out of the car too. The driver drove off to park the car and we stood in front of a giant stone house. It had 4 floors, and was all white. The front door was open and I could hear the songs playing from a distance. Ryland tugged at our intertwined hands and nodded towards the house. I walked with him up the stairs and as soon as we reached the entrance I resisted the urge to hide behind him. The room was the size of a ballroom, but it had to be the living room or the hall. People were spread everywhere, mingling and drinking wine. Everyone looked so sophisticated, so good. We stepped in and I was immediately tackled by someone. The person squished me in their arms and let out a low squeal. Mom! Let her breath! Don't kill my mate yet, Ryland said, and the person, his mom, left me. Oh my God! You look much more pretty in person. That picture did no justice to your beauty, honey. You are so adorable. She gushed out. She looked around her mid-40s. She had dark brown hair and bright blue eyes. Odd combination, but looked good on her. Hello, it good to meet you dear, I'm Harold, Ryland's father. A man who looked somewhat like Ryland said with a warm smile and extended his hand for me to shake. I shook his hand and gave him a polite nod. It good to meet you too sir, I said and gave a nervous smile. Oh no formalities dear, call me Harold or Dad, we are family, you are no less than Nina for me. You both are my daughters. You being an exceptionally cute one, he said and chuckled. I felt moisture build in my eyes and smiled at him. Of course honey, you are family. And family don't do formalities. Call me Lily or Mom. She said and gave me a hug, much lighter one. I tried to control the tears in my eyes, but being the stubborn creation of God, they had to flow down my cheeks. I wiped them before anyone could notice and smiled again. A family. I had a family now. I can't ask for more. Mom, Dad, why don't you guys attend your guests? I want to give Sierra a tour of the house real quick, we'll join you soon. Ryland said and both of them nodded and hugged us once more before leaving. Ryland took my hand in his and gently pulled me with him. He guided me upstairs and into a corridor with 3 doors. He opened the first door and motioned me to go in. I stepped in and knew it was his room. It was just so, him. He came up behind me and hugged me. His fresh minty breath fanning on my neck, his hands resting on my stomach. I placed my hands on his and leaned onto him. His arms tightened around me and he sighed. Why were you crying, baby? Those words got my attention. I was going to tell him that I was not crying when he cut me off. Don't you dare lie, sweetheart, I saw those tears on your face before you wiped them off. Is something wrong? You know you can tell me nothing is wrong, Ryland. It's just that, I never had an actual family before, nothing. And now I have everything I could ever ask for. A family, a beautiful mate. I'm just happy. Those were happy tears, I said and flashed him a brilliant smile. So you think I'm beautiful? He said and wiggled his eyebrows. I rolled my eyes and shook my head at him. Of course he would only get that part. Of course you are beautiful, you are the most beautiful man I've ever seen. I replied, oh God, stop now. You are the most beautiful person, baby, inside and out. He laughed and held me in his arms. I love you so much. I love you more, much more than you can think, baby. He kissed my head and then continued to pepper kisses all over my face. Now let's go before our parents send a search party to find us. I nodded and followed him out. The party was at full swing. Some guests came and greeted Ryland and he proudly introduced me as his mate. All of them were surprised at first, but soon recovered and gave their best wishes to us. Everything was going fine, until a certain someone decided to ruin it for us. It was so obviously, some girl had to come and flirt with Ryland. And this girl was from his pack, so I can't tell her off, not that I can tell anyone off. Hi Ryland, where were you? You were gone so long. I missed you. But now that you are here I cleared my throat and got her attention before she could continue. Can't she see that Ryland is not interested? He is busy speaking to some old man, not even looking at her. Oh, you are you? She asked in a not so polite voice and I felt Ryland's arms tighten around me. Hi, I'm Serena, Ryland's mate, pleasure to meet you. There was nothing pleasurable about meeting her. Stop lying, you busy. Before she could finish a voice interrupted her. Think first before you speak, Kelly, you don't want you Luna to be upset with you, or do you? Ryland said coldly. It's Sally, not Kelly. But I am the Luna, I already sent cards to my friends for the celebration. I know I'm your mate. I can feel the pull, Ryland, she said, and the crowd went silent. Keep your hands off my mate, Sally. We both know very well he is not your mate, he is mine. So it will be better if you just accept the fact and leave us alone, I said in a calm tone. Ryland just tightened his hands around me and planted a kiss on my forehead, as if to prove my point. You heard her, now scram! Someone from the crowd shouted and the others hooted in agreement. By now Sally looked like a ball of fire. If you looked close enough, you could see smoke coming out of her ears. Her face was completely red with anger, but she knew better than to go against her pack. She turned on her heels and stormed off. Okay everyone, the drama queen is gone now, so enjoy the party, Nate yelled from what looked like a DJ setup. I saw him put on headphones and then the music blasted from every corner. I turned around to face Ryland, with a surprised look on my face. He just smirked at Nate's direction, then shifted his gaze to me before pulling me to the area where everyone was dancing. Nate played a remix version of Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran. We danced like crazy for I don't know how long, before we could not stand straight. Ryland had taken off his jacket and slung it over his shoulder. It was already 1 in the morning and most of the guests had left. Ryland and I made our way upstairs and yelled a good night to everyone. As soon as we entered his room, we flung ourselves at the poor bed. We didn't bother to change our clothes and just cuddled together. Today went well. Chapter 31. Ryland. I'm happy that Serena met everyone in my pack. It's been 3 days since the party and Serena is already insisting on meeting them again. I think she is ready to come with me to my pack. She is comfortable around them and they seem to love her. All of them. Dammy, what are you thinking? Serena's soft voice says from my side. She heard my mom calling me Dammy somehow and now she calls me that too. But she can call me anything, so I don't protest. We were currently lying on the bed with blankets dumped like a heap on top of us. Netflix playing on the TV was long forgotten and I was playing with her hair. Those are the softest locks of hair. Baby, would you like to move in with me, like at my pack house? I asked her. She shifts in my arms to face me and flashes me a wide grin. I would really love to stay with you. But don't you think it's a bit early? I just met them not even a week ago and if I already go and stay with them, baby, my mom is practically threatening to disown me if I don't bring you to the pack house. My dad wants to meet his daughter almost every day. The pack is constantly asking when their Luna will join them and the kids are getting on their parents' nerve because they want to meet you. Now does that convince you? I said and flipped us over, so I was on top of her, my hands on either side of her head. Very convincing. I will go with you, Ryland, she said. I let out a sigh of relief. She was willing to go. I cannot bear to think what would have happened if she refused. I leaned down and planted a small kiss on her soft pink lips. It was a small kiss that lasted only about 5 seconds before Serena pulled away. I frowned and looked at her. Why did she pull away? It's time for your workout, Ryland, don't you remember? Now get up, she said enthusiastically. How can anyone be so excited about exercise? 2 days ago we had a small argument. Our first argument. About me not being able to carry her, because she was putting on weight. I told her it was an absolute nonsense, but she insisted on us working out together. So she could lose her extra fat and I could make more muscles. And I agreed. Now we have to go to the gym and do God knows what. But as long as she is with me, I'll bear the pain. I got off her and went to the closet for our gym clothes. I picked out 2 sweatpants for both of us each and a loose t-shirt for her. I'll go shirtless, but then I decided against it and took a plain t-shirt. I gave Sira her clothes and she went in the bathroom to change. I quickly changed in the room and filled a small gym bag with water bottles and towels. I slipped my phone in my pocket and then I realized something. Sira doesn't have a phone. She can mind link us, but she needs a phone. I'll get one for her. Sira came out of the bathroom all fresh and we headed to the small gym in the pack house. There were only 4 people there. 1 boy and 3 girls. The 3 treadmills were occupied by the girls, so I don't think Sira will be going there. I pulled her with me to the weightlifting area. We lifted some weights and Sira was huffing and puffing within 20 minutes. And I, being the incredible mate I am, helped her lifting them. After 2 hours of exercise I actually felt good. But Sira was nowhere near feeling good. She was sprawled in the floor drenched in sweat and breathing heavily. I laid beside her and pulled her to me. I don't care if anyone sees me like this, my Sira needs me. Baby, relax, when we go to our room I will give you a good massage and all of your pain will go away. I kissed her sweaty head and got off the floor. I stretched my hands out for her but she started groaning. I picked her up and went upstairs to our room. I laid her there and took a quick shower. When I came back Sira was sleeping soundly on the bed. She is really exhausted. Now she will never think about working out, but she doesn't need to, she is perfect. I left her sleeping there and did some pack work on the couch. Chapter 32. Serena. I opened my eyes and squirmed under the light coming from the window. I tried to move my body but it feels like tons of weight is being kept on it. Each and every part of my body is throbbing. I gr0an at the pain and wiggle a little. I swear I will never think about exercise again, at least not weightlifting. I felt the bed dip behind me and a large warm hand caress my hair. Ryland. His hand slides over to my arms and gently press on them. I turn around and face Ryland, but I saw worry and concern in his dark eyes, which made me frown. What happened? I asked and sat up a little, felt much better after his touch. I shouldn't have let you do all that exercise, look at you, you are in so much pain. I'm sorry baby. He said and took my hands in his, rubbing my knuckles with his thumb. Hey, why are you saying sorry? It's not your fault. I was the one who wanted to go. Now if you want you can give me a foot massage and ease my pain, I joked and wiggled my eyebrows. He looked at me and pulled my legs on his lap. He started to massage them gently as if they will break. His hands can do wonders, seriously, he is so good at it. I had to suppress the M0ANS threatening to come out of me. After a while I tell him to stop and lay down beside me. Honestly I'm more than okay and now I just want to snuggle with him. He slides in beside me and wrap his arm around my waist in a spooning position. I turn around to face him and smile as I catch him staring at me. How are you feeling now baby? He asked and planted a soft lingering kiss on my cheek. Much better after your touch. You seem to take all my pain away Ryland, I said in all honesty. His face showed pure happiness which made me smile wider. I'm glad to know that, he said and captured my LPS in a heated kiss. He pulled me closer and cupped my jaw with one hand while the other was firmly placed on my HP. My hands slip in his hair, pulling at them lightly. A soft M0AN of pleasure escaped my LPS and he growled. He slowly moved on top of me, resting his weight on his elbows. His expert hand threading my hair and the other rubbing my waist, creating a bubbling sensation in my stomach. He slipped his tongue in my mouth and explored every inch of it. He tasted of fresh mint. My nails dig into his back, earning a gr0an from him. He spread my legs with his knees and settled himself between them. He was so close, it felt good. His PS left my mouth and started kissing my jaw and neck. I am 0ANED and bit my bottom P, as he left open mouth kisses on my neck. I turned my neck to give him more access. He eat at my sweet spot, when he was supposed to mark me and bit down lightly. It will sure leave a hickey. Wrapping my legs around his I rubbed myself on him, earning a loud gr0 and / growl from him. I couldn't help myself. It felt so right. Touching him, kissing him, and simply being in his presence. I could feel myself getting wet as the sensation in my stomach multiplied and closed my eyes. "Mark me," I whispered in Ryland's ear, and he froze. He looked at me through hooded eyes, filled with love. Eyes darker than before and breathing heavily. His hand caressed my cheek and kissed the other. "Are you sure? I don't want you to feel I'm rushing you," he said, breathless. I nodded and slammed my PS to his. His actions got wild now. He kissed harder, pouring all his feelings in a single kiss. I tugged his shirt away, leaving his 8-packs on full display. This only seemed to make me hotter. I felt his hands under my t-shirt rubbing my tummy. I was a M0ANING mess by now, and I couldn't take the distance my clothes were creating between us. I did feel a little self-conscious, but the look of love, adoration, and from Ryland made all the insecurities go away. I smiled, knowing I had this effect on him. "I'm gonna mark you now, baby. It's gonna hurt a bit, but I will make all the pain go away, okay?" he said and looked at me for assurance. I nodded, and he carried on kissing at my sweet spot on my neck, making me tremble under him. He eat it a couple of times, and I felt his sharp canines elongate. I tilted my neck more, and he bit at my neck. I screamed out in pain and tried to move my hand, but he pinned them down. He removed his canines from my skin and eat his mark, instantly taking away the pain and replacing it with pleasure. I opened my eyes and looked in his dark eyes filled with worry. His hand left mine and rubbed my PS soothingly. "I'm sorry I hurt you." "Shut up," I cut him off. "Why is he apologizing for marking me?" He looked at me shocked. I sighed and pulled him closer to me, hugging his like a huge teddy bear. "Don't apologize for making me yours, Ryland." He buried his head on my chest and sighed. His hands wrapped tightly around me. His bare chest covered in a thin layer of sweat and radiating heat. I felt my eyes droop. My body suddenly felt very weak. "Take rest, baby, the mark took a lot of energy from your body. Sleep, I'll be here when you wake up." "Sleep." His voice sounded distant in the end as I gave up and darkness took over me. Chapter 33. Ryland. I woke up with a face-splitting grin on my face. My mate sleeping soundly, buried in my arms. It's been 18 hours since I marked her, and she has been sleeping all this time. She must be really exhausted. I can't explain the happiness and satisfaction I received when I claimed her as mine. I cannot be described. I have to inform my parents about it. They have to start preparing for the new Luna's arrival. I'm not gonna waste any more time to take my Syrah with me. FK this pack. I'm going to take her with me. My thoughts were erupted when my Syrah shifted in my arms. I looked at her beautiful face. My wolf howled in joy looking at the new glow that decorated her face. She grunted and shifted again, this time to face me. I pulled her closer, bringing her body as close as possible. I rubbed my hand over her very exposed HP and felt her shiver under my touch. I peppered kisses all over her face, in order to wake her up. She needs food in her system, she has not eaten anything in so long. Moving down, I left feather kisses on her jawline and neck. I can't get enough of her. She is making me an addict. Holding me captive. Her hold on me tighten, which means she's awake. But her eyes were still closed. Wake up baby girl, I whisper in her ear in a addictive tone. She just grunted in response and pulled me closer, if that was even possible. She angled her neck for more access. She wants more, just like me. You want me to continue, baby girl? I whispered against her soft skin and bit down gently on her neck. I have heard that once mates are marked they can't get their hands off each other for a few days and then the girl goes into heat on full moon. And I now know what it means. I'm an it. I don't want to leave this bed and stay with her all the time. She hummed in content and released a soft, small M0an. Her M0an was like music to my ears, only for me. Only I can draw that sound from her. The sound is like a switch, it turns me on faster than light. I climbed on top of her and held her hands on top of her head and kissed her. The position reminded me of yesterday, when I marked her. Just thinking about it makes my pants painfully tight. God, the things she does to me. She doesn't even realize she has such an effect on me. The kiss was cut short by an impatient knock on the door. IGR0ANED, but didn't he break the kiss? Others can wait, I want to satisfy my baby. I proceed to kiss her neck, but she pulls away. I look at her in confusion. What happened, baby? I asked in a daze. She was breathing heavily and smiling. The door. Someone is outside. She said. I don't care. Let's continue, baby girl. I said and leaned forward, but the door interrupted us again. IGR0ANED. She giggled at my condition. She thinks it's funny? I'll show her what's funny. I tightened my hold on her pinned hands and tickled her sides. I captured her mouth in a kiss. She was having a hard time containing her giggles. I laughed and released her. She glared at me and I pecked her once more. Then again, a knock on the door. I hope they don't break it. Anyway, I don't care. Getting off the bed, I searched for my shirt, that was thrown somewhere by Sira. I found it on the ground and slipped it on. Sira didn't make any effort to get up. She was still chilling on the bed, now wide awake. I pulled the cover up to her chin and cover her whole body. I opened the door and surprise! It's Nate. I don't understand when he is here and when not. He had his signature grin plastered on his face. Do you always have to appear at the wrong time, Nate? I said. I didn't bother hiding the annoyance in my voice and glared at him. Don't look at me like that. Your mom sent me here yesterday to deliver something, but I guess you were busy, so I came now, but again you were busy. He explained. You could have come later if you realized. I growled. I have to return tonight, so I had to do it now. Sorry. Here he handed me a small silver treasure-like box and waved at Sira and left muttering to himself. I shut the door close and walked back to my Sira. I placed the box on the nightstand and removed my shirt. With a smirk I climbed back on the bed and on top of Sira. Let's finish what we started. I leaned in to kiss her, but she moved, making me frown. What? Why? Ryland, what did Nate tell you? She asked and I sighed. I dropped myself beside her and adjusted my head on her lap. He came to deliver something Mom gave him, I said. I took Sira's left hand and placed it on my head, and she stroked my hair. It's on the nightstand. Can I see? She asked. Of course, baby. It might be for you. I closed my eyes. After a few seconds I heard a gasp and opened my eyes. Sira was looking something inside the box with wide eyes and slightly open mouth. What is it? She simply passed the box to me. I took it and was surprised to see the golden ring in it. The ring was something sort of an heirloom, but not same. It has been passed on from generations in our family. To the Lunas. It was said that it was a gift of peace given to the werewolves. It is only passed on to those who the pack thinks is worthy of it. Once the Luna meets the pack, a voting is held. Everyone votes and gives their opinion whether the ring should be passed to her or not. It looks like my mom couldn't wait for her arrival to do that. I knew Sira would receive it one day, but didn't expect it to be today. What is this, Ryland? It's not what I think it is, right? It is, baby. You are chosen by the pack, I said with a smile. She was smiling too, but a sad one. What's wrong? I pulled her to my side and stroked her arms. I can't believe it, Ryland. Is this real? It all feels like a dream. I never thought I will be given this much respect and love from anyone in my life. Your family and pack adore me. I don't know how to thank them for this. Just come home with me, baby. That's what everyone wants. I want. I said and looked down at her. She nodded slowly. When do you want to leave? She asked. Tomorrow maybe? If you're ready, I said, unsure if she wants to leave this early. She untangled herself from me and ran over to the closet. She pulled out 2 suitcases and dropped them on the bed. What are you doing, baby? I asked. You said we leave tomorrow. We have so much to pack, Ryland. Don't be a lazy and come help me. She said and pointed her finger at me. That brought a smile on my face. I took my shirt off the floor and passed it to her. If anyone was to come in and see her like this. I helped her pack all the stuff. It was a lot of stuff. The clothes, shoes, accessories, etc. Mostly Sira's stuff. I had brought 1 suitcase full of my things, once I found Sira. At the end we had 3 big suitcases, 1 traveling bag and Sira's hand purse. Sira decided to take a shower after me. She is in the bathroom for the last 45 minutes. I knocked on the door and she opened it, fully clothed. What took you so long? I asked curiously. I turned around and faced the mirror trying to tame my hair. I was just admiring my mark. Now everyone will know I'm yours and you're me. She said, hugging me from behind. I smiled and looked at her through the mirror. You have no idea how happy I am to finally mark you. And I have always been yours, baby. All yours. I kissed her head and took her hand in mine. Come, let's eat something. We cuddled all day, and now it's dinner time, she said, and I just chuckled. Can't seem to keep track of time when I'm with you, baby. I just want to keep you wrapped up in my arms, never letting you go. It was her turn to chuckle. We sat at the dining table as usual, with her on my lap and me feeding her. Alpha Mason, I have something to say. Everyone paid attention to me now. Yes, Alpha Ryland, me and my mate will be leaving tomorrow morning. I'm taking Sira to my pack. Permanently. So I want you to cut off the links with her, so I can make one. I said. Mason looked conflicted for a few minutes. What is he waiting for? She's my mate and I can take her by law. He can't refuse. But, okay fine, he said and closed his eyes to cut off the link. Good. After dinner I cuddled Sira to sleep like I always do. She has changed so much since I met her. Now she wears my clothes, the kisses, she doesn't hesitate to scold me, and more importantly she wears my mark. Mine. Good night, Ryland. Sweet dreams. Good night, baby. Sweet dreams, I sighed in content. Tomorrow she will be sleeping in my bed. Away from this pack. Away from the people. Near me. Chapter 34. Serena, I'm not that nervous to go to the Nightfall pack. They are all family. I had never thought I would become a Luna someday. That too of the most powerful pack in existence. Ryland announced at dinner yesterday that we will be leaving today. When he said that, I saw an emotion flash in Mason's eyes, sadness. I don't know why he would be sad now. After all that he did to me. But I didn't think about it much. One kiss from Ryland makes me forget everything else. I was standing by Ryland's car while he was loading our suitcases in the trunk. No one came to say goodbye. But I guess it's better that way, they would end up saying something, set all of us in a foul mood. Nate stood beside me, typing furiously at his phone. He was supposed to leave yesterday but Ryland's dad told him to arrive with us. So here he is. Ryland was back by my side in no time. He opened the back door for me and I made myself comfortable. He took the driver's seat and Nate on the passenger seat. We didn't have breakfast before leaving. Ryland said that his mom made breakfast for all of us at the pack house. So we left early so we could reach by the time of breakfast. Nate switched the radio on and Like I'm Gonna Lose You started playing. I hummed along with the song. My life is going to change, but I know as long as Ryland is by my side I will be fine. He is my knight in shining armor, my saving grace. He is my angel, who was sent to help me. I feel new, I feel better. Long gone is the frightened girl. Now I'm the Alpha's girl who is not afraid of anything. I will make Ryland proud to call me his mate and Luna of his pack. With that thought I drifted off to sleep. Sierra, baby. Wake up, Ryland's soft voice said in my ears. I giggled when his breath tickled my ears. I felt myself being picked up in strong arms, belonging to Ryland. I snuggled closer. Then I remembered, we were going to his pack. I opened my eyes and looked around. We were outside the house. But not alone. More than 250 people were standing outside the door with huge smiles on their faces. I smiled at them and jumped off Ryland's arms. Baby! You could have got hurt. Be careful, Ryland and I walked side by side and reached the crowd. Hello everyone, Ryland said. Hello Alpha, the reply came from everyone. Now will you keep your Luna standing outside in the sun or? Ryland said. Everyone scrambled out of the way and into the house. Ryland only laughed at their tactics. Extra sofas were placed in the big hall for everyone to sit. Harold and Lily were sitting on couch in a corner chatting. Lily caught my eye and she immediately ran towards me, leaving her husband. She hugged me tightly and then released me. She sniffed me a little and then a huge smile graced her lips. She turned towards Ryland, who was successfully avoiding her gaze. You! How could you not tell me you marked her? She seethed at her son. Ryland looked at me for help but I just giggled softly and shook my head, which caused him to glare at me. You will get it later, baby girl. His voice said in my head. He had created the link between us, the first thing in the morning. Not that I complain. We will see, Alpha. I flipped my hair a little to add to my point. Answer me, Ryland Jameson Owen. Lily said again. Sorry Mom, I marked her just day before yesterday and we slept the whole other day. I wanted to tell you, but I never got the chance. Sorry again. She sighed and turned to me and her scowl was replaced by a grin. Congratulations, dear. Now you are the official Luna of the Nightfall pack. Welcome home, she said and hugged me again. It is home indeed. Then Harold approached us and hugged me, congratulating me. Ryland and Harold immediately engaged in talks while Lily told me about the traditional celebration held for the Lunas. It has to be held within a week of being marked and becoming the Luna. And Lily was planning on doing it 2 days later. I agreed. Ryland's hand sneaked around my waist and pulled me to him. Mom, please excuse us. We have to unpack and I'm sure Sierra is very tired from the traveling. He said, but the mischievous glint in his eyes gave another message. Okay, but come down for breakfast. Everyone else will be leaving now. She said and went somewhere. Where is everyone going? I asked Ryland while he pulled me upstairs. Our stuff was already in our room. To their own house, Sierra. These people came here to meet you specifically, they don't stay here. Oh, we entered his room and he immediately pinned me to the wall. His hands pinning my hands on either side. He was really close. I could feel his minty breath on my face. I told you, baby, I'll get you later. See, I got you. I will not let you go now, he said in the most seductive voice I've ever heard. He leaned in and placed a teasing kiss on my jaw, my neck and trailing a line of kisses to my shoulder. His lips left my skin and moved closer to my lips. Our lips were only an apart when someone barged in. We both sprang apart. I didn't lock the door. Ryland mumbled under his breath. Lily came in with a smile on her face and I felt my face heat up in embarrassment. I'm sure she knew what was going on. Dear's breakfast is being served, please hurry up, she said sweetly. You know you could have just mind-linked me or maybe knocked on the door. Ryland said / growled. Now son, what's the fun in that? She said and winked at me before leaving. Ryland quickly closed the door and made sure to lock it. I took the opportunity and fled to the bathroom and locked the door. A few seconds later I heard his growl of annoyance. Oh come on baby. Not you too. Chapter 35. Ryland. Dear's breakfast is being served downstairs, hurry up, my mummy dearest said in a very sweet tone. As if she didn't just barged in mine and Sierra's room, erupting our moment. You could have just mind-linked me or simply knocked at the door. I said / growled. Now honey, what would be the fun in that? She said and I didn't miss the wink that she sent towards my mate. The moment she left the room I flew to the door and shut it close, making sure to lock it. I turned to face Sierra with a smirk on my face, but she was not there. I heard the click of the bathroom and knew that she was in there. Come on baby. Not you too. I groaned and plopped myself on the king-size bed. Look at you, you're such a sweetheart aren't you? Dom cooed in my head. You are the exact same when it comes to our mate, you can't tease me about that you oaf. I shot back, to which he snorted, if that was possible for a wolf. Oh what a beautiful little thing she is. Our mate is a true beauty isn't she Ryland? Totally. And she is just too innocent to even notice that. She is so adorable. Never in my entire existence I thought I would agree with you, but you're right. I know I'm right. I knew I shouldn't have said that. I just boosted your huge ego. You sure did. What is taking Sierra so long in the bathroom? I want to hold her again and kiss out of her. Why so violent Dom? Relax, she'll be out any moment. But Sierra chose that moment to come out of the bathroom and was immediately tackled on the soft rug. By me. Why did you run into the bathroom? You had to eventually get out baby, she didn't reply and just looked at me dead in the eye, fingers digging into my shoulders. That's when I noticed. She only had a towel on. Oh. What wonders would be hidden under the towel Ryland? Shut up. Now is not the time Dom. I slowly got off her, making sure not to look down and only focus on her eyes. which was very difficult. Sorry, I muttered and picked up some of my clothes and hurried into the bathroom. I banged my head on the wall. How did I not notice that before? She must have felt so uncomfortable. Oh God! I took a quick shower and put my clothes on. I came out of the bathroom and saw Serena sitting on the bed, now fully clothed. I smiled slightly when she turned to face me. She took my hand in hers and stood closer. She pecked my lips. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. It's okay, Ryland. Anyway, I'm your mate, you have full permission. She said and winked before skipping out of the room, giggling. Close your mouth. I closed my mouth and composed myself. What did she just say? Did she just hint me? Oh God, kill me now. This woman is driving me crazy with her tricks. I went downstairs and took my seat. I may be the alpha, but the head of the table seat still belongs to my father. I didn't want him sitting anywhere else. Serena was sitting beside me. I got an idea. I placed my left hand on her right knee, rubbing the skin. Her head shot up in my direction, but I didn't give her a glance and watched as everyone started to take their seats. My hand kept moving up and up until I was dangerously close to her middle. I noticed her taking a sharp intake of breath. Once everyone was seated, I planned to make her cheeks/face more red. I grabbed her around the waist and dropped her on my lap, making her squeal and all red. I locked her in my arms and piled food on the plate for the both of us. The clearing of throat caught my attention. I looked up from the plate and saw everyone's amused eyes lingering on us. Ryland, why is Serena sitting on your lap, son? Dad asked with a small smile. Oh, actually we always eat like this. Even at her old pack. Isn't that right, baby? I asked her. She simply nodded her head and curled up in a ball, trying to hide herself in my shirt. That just made everyone chuckle at her cuteness, and I heard my mother awe at her. I pulled her face from my shirt and held up spoonful of eggs to her mouth. I noticed her face had turned 50 shades of red. She was blushing so hard. But didn't argue on eating and curled her mouth around the spoon. How I wish her lips curled like that into mine. I dismissed that thought as soon as it came. During breakfast everyone kept glancing at us with knowing smiles and smirks. Same thing after the breakfast too. We were sitting on the couch right now, everyone engaged in some kind of talk. I was bickering with Nate, about how does he always manage to arrive at the wrong time. This topic had to be brought up, or else Serena and I won't be able to mate. Ryland, can I speak to you for a minute please? A very seductive voice of my Serena whispered in my ear, making me shiver slightly. I turned to face her and saw the most innocent look on her face. I gulped inaudibly and nodded to her. She got up and went upstairs. I did notice the way she swayed her hips. I turned to Nate again and told him I'll be back. I excused myself and walked up the stairs calmly. As soon as I reached on the floor I practically flew to my room. I stood in front of the door, mentally preparing for whatever is to come. After gathering the courage I finally opened the door. Serena was standing by the window, looking outside. Long gone her jeans and t-shirt. Now all she wore was my white dress shirt which barely covered her mid-thigh, and was completely see-through. I licked my lips and took a few steps forward. When her soft and seductive voice made me stop. You would want to lock the alpha and I was a goner. Chapter 36. Serena. I was nervous, very nervous. After the marking, I constantly felt horny around Ryland. I didn't know if something happened to me. I spoke to Nina on Ryland's phone while he was in the shower before breakfast. I explained my problem to her and she just laughed, then said that it was normal for newly mated couples to feel horny around each other, the need to be touched by them. Also the need to mate will be strong. And she is right. I felt like I'm ready to be his, in every way possible. So I dropped hints for him. But being the thick head he is, he didn't notice. So now I will try a direct approach. I am probably sounding, but I can't help myself, and Nina said that even Ryland must be feeling the same, so why not? I was standing by the window in our room, looking at the beautiful forest in front of me. I heard the door click open and felt Ryland enter. I kept my gaze out of the window and said you would want to close the door, Alpha. I was terrified to face him, to face the rejection. If he didn't want to mate with me, I don't know what I will do. But I'm damn sure I won't be able to face him, ever. Suddenly I was turned around by a strong arm. Ryland looked in my eyes. I gulped inaudibly and placed my hands on his chest. If he rejects me then I will face it, but now I won't back down. His hands curve around my body, pulling me impossibly close. I stood on my tippy toes and wrapped my right hand around his shoulder and the other remained on his chest, moving in small circles. Oh baby, you got to stop, or I won't be able to resist anymore. He whispered in a husky groan. Then don't resist, Ryland, make me yours, in every way. I'm ready. Please, I whisper in his ear and nibble on it. That's when he took control. He picked me up in his arms and kissed me hard. I instinctively wrapped my legs around his waist. He started walking somewhere without breaking the heated kiss. I grabbed his face in my hands and kisses harder. He groaned and I felt myself dip. He laid me down on the bed and stood up straight, unbuttoning his shirt. His eyes never left mine, and we both had smiles on our faces. Okay readers, this is the end of smut here. I'm not going into any details, I'm leaving that to your imagination. We went down to eat with the others after our little episode. We all sat there eating when suddenly asked. You guys finally made it, hey? I almost choked on my food after hearing this. How can she be so open about it? Okay fine, I know we are werewolves and we have a different way of things, but still. Yeah, I can tell. Considering the cherry color on Isa's face. Nina said and snickered. Come on with me, honey. We need to have a serious conversation. Lily said and dragged me out with her. Nina followed. I'm doomed. What is she gonna say? Chapter 37. Ryland's. As soon as the girls and mom were out of earshot, I started laughing like a madman. Oh God, her face. I know she is scared because she will have to describe the whole mating to them, but that's not true. Mom does this every time. Whenever a close friend or family female mates for the first time, my mom arranges a treat for them to celebrate, not ask for details. Nate and Dad let out a small chuckle. After snacks we all sprawl on the couch in the TV room and watch today's football game. They are playing horrible. I bet even Nate could do better than them, and he is horrible. The game ends around 6 and dinner will be served around 7. I should check up on Sira. I get off the couch and try to locate Sira. I pass by Nina's room and hear some giggles and ahs. I stop in front of the door when I hear something. Oh my good, look at him. He is so hot. Oh, did the temperature suddenly rise or is it just me? Nina's voice said. I froze in my steps and decided to listen. Then I hear Sira talking, and what she says pisses me off. Did you see his jawline? Oh God, his abs. So delicious. And his hair, just want to run my hands through them, that's it. I have had enough. I broke the door open and see the Nina and Sira sitting on the floor, and about dozens of photos surrounding them. They both look at me in shock. I was heaving and glaring at both of them. I was mad, furious even, but I didn't want to lash out on Sira, so I asked her. What is going on here? And what photos are those? They collected the photos and made a small bundle in the middle. Both smiling innocently. I took a look at the photos and almost sighed in relief when I only saw mine and Adam's pictures. That got me more confused. Nina sighed and explained. We were playing a game where we have to collect our mates' all possible pictures and then shuffle them together. Then one by one we take out a picture, look at it, and within 10 seconds we have to make a comment on it. We had almost finished, but thanks to you, it's ruined now. Now I was feeling bad. But I was kind of happy when I remembered the comment Sira made. It was for me. She thinks I'm hot? Ryland, why did you do that? We were having so much fun. You ruined it. Now you have to sleep alone tonight. I'll sleep with Nina. Go. Sira said in an angry tone. I was too shocked to register her words, but when I did I felt like I was thrown off a mountain. How could she do that to me? I can't sleep without her. That sounded creepy, dude. Shut up. Not the time. Sira, you can't do that. You know I won't be able to sleep all night. Please. I can explain. I said, crouching down in front of her. Then explain. What are you waiting for? Nina butted in angrily. I'm happy Adam was not here with me, or else he would be grilled. Sira, I was looking for you, and when I was going past Nina's room I heard your giggles, so I heard your conversation. And I thought you were complimenting someone else, and it didn't settle well. That's why. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Baby, I love you. Sira had an adorable confused face on. It looked as if she was battling whether to forgive me or not. I forgive you, Ryland. Only because I love you too, she said, but you will sleep alone today. It's your punishment for scaring us. Okay then, at least you forgave me. Can I get a kiss, please? I said. She leaned forward and placed her soft, luscious lips on mine. After a few minutes she pulled away and pushed me out of the door. Before she could close the door I pecked her lips once more. Before closing the door she smiled and winked at me. I sighed and went to my room. The bed was still messy from before. I pulled at the cover and sheets. I saw a red stain on the sheets. The thought that I would have hurt her gave an uneasy feeling in my heart. I replaced the sheet with a fresh one, threw the dirty ones in the laundry. I arranged all the pillows. I have to get more pillows, these are only enough for one. I went down for dinner and saw Sira sitting with Nina, chatting. Baby, what are you doing there? Come here. I mind-linked her. Nina wanted to speak about something. Once she is done I'll come to you. She said and gave me a glance. I sighed. Once the dinner was served Sira came and sat on my lap as always. At least she's not pushing me away. As usual I fed the both of us. Now my family didn't stare at us like an entertainment show. They got used to see us this way. Throughout dinner I tried to convince her to sleep with me, but she did not budge. Dinner was over and everyone said their good nights. I walked with Sira to Nina's room and held her hand once we reached. Please. I asked for the 1000th time. She was about to say something but Nina pulled her inside. I groaned and went to my room. I plopped myself on the bed and turned off the lights. I hugged the pillow on which Sira slept. Her faint scent lingered in the covers. I snuggled myself closer to the pillow and sighed. This is going to be a long night. At midnight, around 1 o'clock. No matter how much I tried, sleep didn't come to me. I just closed my eyes and waited for the sun to come up, so I could see my Sierra again. I heard shuffling around me and then felt the bed dip. Sierra's scent hit me and Dom howled in joy. I opened my eyes and saw Sierra laying beside me. I placed the pillow behind her head and she jumped a little. "You're still awake?" she asked in a whisper. "Couldn't sleep without you," I said sincerely. "Ah, me too. Come here," she said and opened her arms. I didn't think twice before snuggling to her. Having her in my arms felt so right. It felt natural. I buried my face between her neck and shoulder and breathed in her scent. She felt her doing the same. "Why are you awake?" I asked and flipped us over so that she laid on top of me. "Same reason. Now sleep, good night," she yawned adorably and kissed my cheek. Her face buried in my chest and she was out like a light. I smiled and kissed her head. I could finally get some sleep now. I love you, baby. Chapter 38. Serena. The next few days were a bliss. I have completed blended into the pack. I know almost everyone now and vice versa. Ryland is more loving and treats me like a baby because of what happened a few days ago. He never wants to sleep alone again. I also made 2 new friends, Cole and Cameron. Both girls are very sweet. I met them during a stroll in the common garden, and we clicked. Now we are a team, Nina, me, Cole and Cameron. Even Nate joins in sometimes. We all have grown extremely close to each other. Nate has grown pretty protective over me. He said, and I quote, "Anyone who tries to hurt his Luna will receive a private whooping from him, but I don't think Ryland will give him a chance." Right now, I was up to no good. I knocked at my mate's office door. He was currently in a meeting with some other alpha, but I was missing him too much. The most we have been apart was for an hour. And it has been 2 hours since the meeting started. He mind-linked me every 15 minutes though. Ryland has given me permission to just barge in whenever I want, but I won't do that. A faint come-in was heard and I entered with a smile, which was wiped as soon as it came. Ryland was having a meeting with the Alpha indeed, but the Alpha was not a he but a she. The aura around her gave away her power and authority. She was seated at the comfortable chair across from Ryland, the table separating them. I took small steps forward, observing both of their features. The lady looked smug and held her head high, trying to hide the small blush and shyness that was clearly evident in her eyes. The pungent smell of her arousal hit my nostrils, making my inside churn. I saw Ryland sitting stiffly in his chair, rather uncomfortable. He avoided looking at the Alpha and kept his gaze on me while the Alpha seemed to not care about anything else. I cleared my throat once I reached at a one-hand distance from the new Alpha. Her attention was now focused on me, sizing me up and down. I suppressed a growl. She threw a smile my way and then turned around to stare at my mate again. "Hello, my name is Serena Clark," I said and extended my hand before her. She glanced at me and then at my hand. From the corner of her eyes she looked at Ryland and then shook my hand. "Alpha Rose Cluster," she replied shortly. I ignored her rude behavior and turned to my lovely mate. He pushed his chair a bit and patted his thigh. I blushed a little at the signal he just sent me. I shook my head and nodded to the lady staring at him. She didn't notice the exchange of expressions between us though. He didn't budge and patted his thigh again. This time I gave in, I missed him, and wanted to be close. I stood in front of him and kissed his cheek. He pulled me on his lap and kissed my lips in a possessive kiss. We broke the kiss and he adjusted me on his lap so I was completely on top of him. I fitted perfectly in his arms. He buried my face in his neck and patted my head like a child. I giggled lowly but didn't protest. "So Alpha Cluster, what were you saying? You shall continue. Ryland's voice was cold and emotionless. His alpha voice. I could not see her face but could tell that she was flushed. Yes, so I was saying that it would be great to make an alliance between our packs. Your pack is the most powerful one so far and our is the third powerful. This alliance will make us undefeatable. And for the sake of the alliance, I have a proposal that would benefit us more. And what might that be? His voice were sending shivers through my body. He sensed my discomfort and rubbed my hips and thighs in a reassuring way. I think we should mate. As soon as those words left her mouth, Ryland growled a fierce growl. You dare say that again, Alpha? He growled and placed me on the desk before standing up himself. Rose stood up too and tried to get closer to him, but my growl stopped her midway. She gave me a harsh look but stayed away. Ryland, darling, relax. Calm down. Look at me, look at me. I cooed at him and made him face me. His eyes were flickering between their usual dark color to golden. His wolf was on edge. Baby was all he said and hugged me so tight, as if his life depended on it. Probably did, because that's what he always said. I'm his life. Alpha. Ryland, consider my proposal, it's better than staying with random girls. Look at you seeking comfort in this unknown, lady. Think about the power you will get. We will rule together with a beautiful family. You have not found your mate and neither have I. If you would have, then it wouldn't go unnoticed. It is only fair that we mate. There are a lot of benefits. Our future will be like a dream, you, me, our pups, and our pack. That was it. I released the grip I had on Ryland's hand, holding him down, and slid down the desk facing the Alpha. Ryland growled because of the lack of touch, but I was too blinded to notice. Attacking an Alpha of any pack was an offense. So I had held on to Ryland, restraining him from causing any damages. But she went too far, dreaming of having puppies with my mate. She has a death wish. You. Who do you think you are? Are you some kind of a royalty, that you will just strut in, state your wishes and foof? They come to her? Well, news flash, it won't happen. Your dream future will only just be a dream. And you know why? Because Ryland found his mate. He found me. I growled. Ryland wrapped his hand around my stomach and inhaled my scent. I was breathing heavily by now and Rose looked shocked by my outburst. She was about to say something when Nate strutted in. Literally strutted. Like moving his hips side to side and also with a small pout to go with it. That made me laugh. All my anger dying down with his simple act. Nate, can you please escort Alpha Cluster outside? The meeting is done. His voice was calm but dangerous. Absolutely, Alpha. Alpha Cluster after you, Nate said in a professional tone. Rose gave us a last glance, then huffed and followed Nate. The moment the door closed, Ryland dropped on the chair, pulling me down with him. He kissed me slowly. It was not a rough or passionate kiss. It was soft and just about right to show how much we loved each other. He pulled away slightly, only an inch, and rested his forehead on mine. He whispered sweet words to me, repeating how much he loved me and he would never leave me, even if I tried. Then he said something. Sierra, will you marry me? I asked. And I froze. Chapter 39. Ryland's the words left my mouth before I could stop them. I was pissed at the situation, but I knew what I said was true. I want to marry Sierra. And I wanted to take it slow, but now I want everyone to know that I have a mate, who will also be my wife. She froze at my words. I lifted my head and looked at her. Her eyes were closed and she was breathing heavily from the kiss we just shared. Ryland. Baby, I know it's too early, but please, I want everyone to know that I found my mate and that it's you. I want to show you off to everyone. That how lucky I am to have you. Please, sweetheart. I don't want a repeat of what happened today. I want you to be recognized as the Luna of the nightfall. She just started at me for a good few seconds before nodding. Yes. Yes, I will marry you, she said with a smile. A huge smile appeared on my face. Baby, I'm so happy. You just made me the happiest man alive. This is going to be perfect. Yeah, just wait till I tell everyone how you proposed to me. Then we'll see how perfect it's going to be. She said with a straight face, looking all serious. You won't do that, right? Okay, I won't. But you have to tell everyone how you proposed to me and where the ring is. She wiggled her fingers in front of my face. I kissed all her fingers and smiled. Soon, baby, soon. I should go. Cole, Cameron and Nina wanted to go shopping for Nate's birthday. She said and slid off my lap, walking to the door, as I followed. What do you think we should do for his birthday? I mean, it's his 18th birthday, he will find his mate. It should be special, I said. We walked together to the kitchen and I sat on the bar stool while she looked into the pantry. I guess we should do a costume party. Nate likes all those stuff. So why not? She suggested, and I guess it's not a bad idea and Nate may actually enjoy. I think you're right. I'll call Tanner and Susan later. The couple plan the best parties in the pack. I said and poured myself a glass of water. What are you looking for in the pantry? I asked. She turned around holding a bag full of candies. I raised my eyebrows and looked at her with judging eyes. I'm kidding. Candy? Seriously? No one is too old for candy, she sang and plopped herself on my lap sideways. She started sucking on the candy cane and making moaning sounds. Is that red and white candy that tasty? I stopped my habit of candies when I turned 12, because it was not manly. But looking at her devouring the sugary goodness, I can't seem to hold myself back. I tried to grab a single candy, but she swatted my hand and glared at me. Who told you to take one? She asked, narrowing her eyes at me. No one. It came out more like a question. She just gave me the look and carried on with her candy. I felt determined this time. I will get my candy. But before I could do anything, Dad came in. He looked at us, or more specifically my mate, who didn't he even notice him, too happy sucking on her candy. Hi Dad, how are you this fine morning? I said. He went to the fridge and held a bottle of chilled orange juice, pouring it in a glass. I'm good, son, thanks for asking, and I can see Isa has been doing well too. He said with a warm smile. Sierra smiled back and nodded happily. I'm good, he nodded and went back outside. I stood up carefully, holding Sierra bridal style. I went upstairs to our room and opened the door. I threw her on the couch gently and stood in front of her, folding my arms. What? She asked. She had the most innocent look right now. Wide eyes, lips slightly parted and pushed forward. It was hard to overlook, but I did somehow. Candy, I said. I don't know why I'm doing all this, over a candy. But I'm not going to lose to her, that too for a candy. No. She said and turned the other way. I walked towards her and sat on the couch. I turned her to face me, and when she did, I crashed my lips to her. The sweet and tangy taste of the candy bursting my taste buds. The taste seemed to get better. She wiggled at first, but gave in later. I entered my tongue in her mouth and moaned at the outburst of the taste. Different flavors mixed with each other made it better somehow. I pulled away and licked my lips. I finally got my candy. Chapter 40. Serena. Let's go home now. My legs are screaming and yelling at me to stop. Please. I yelled out to the three devils in disguise. To which they only laughed. Right now we are in the mall looking for a suitable gift for Nate and costumes for ourselves. The party is in 2 days and everyone is excited for their beta's birthday. I bought a charming shirt for him that says "I don't wake up to impress you" and a pair of Oakley shades. Nina got him new Vans, because apparently his shoes smell. Cole bought a couple necklace, so that when he finds his mate he can give it to her. And as for Cameron, she is giving him a new watch. As we were searching for our outfits I felt someone's hand on my shoulder. The touch burned me. I flinched and turned around. A guy was standing behind me, now facing me with a smile on his face. The girls were too engrossed in shopping to notice. "Who are you? And how dare you touch me?" I almost growled. "No one can touch me besides Ryland." His smile didn't flatter and he kept staring at me. "Hi, my name is Benson, but you can call me Ben." He extended his hand for me to shake. I don't want to be burned again, so I just glared at him. He chuckled and dropped his hand to his side. "I'll ask again, who are you and why are you talking to me?" He didn't answer but looked me up and down. I felt disgusted under his stare but didn't lose my cool. His eyes landed on my neck and his eyes darkened. They reflected pure anger. "You have a mate?" he stated. I just nodded but from the inside I was breaking my head from the amount of confusion. He took a few deep breaths and his eyes changed back to its normal dull blue. "Soon enough, sweetheart, we will meet again soon, and when we do situations will be different," he said while stepping back and took off. I was still standing there like a fool. I shook my head and decided to mind link Ryland to fix my sour mood. "Ryland." "Yes, baby?" "You done all the shopping?" he said in a happy voice. He always makes me feel better. "No, not yet. We got the gifts, but the out is still not decided." "Oh, can I suggest something?" "Of course, dress like a princess, you know, like Disney princesses." "Why? Is there a specific reason for it?" "Yup. I'll be dressing as a prince, so we'll match." "How cool is that?" "Definitely. I'll go search for my dress now, see you later, I miss you and I love you." "I love you too, baby, and you have no idea how much I miss you. Come back to me soon." Bye. We both said our byes and I joined the girls for the dresses. Nina had her dress ready. She decided to be a vampire. How ironic for a werewolf to be dressed as a vampire. Cole and Cameron were still struggling. I knew what to find for myself, so I headed to the gowns section. After half an hour of endless search I found my dress. I asked the girls for their opinion and they practically threatened me to buy the dress. I asked the girls for their opinion and they practically threatened me to buy the dress. It was a pink gown with a sweetheart neckline. It hugged my waist and then flared down. It had an adorable floral lace design on the waist. In all it was perfect. Cameron brought a Red Riding Hood costume and Cole got a fallen angel one with black wings. Nina called the driver that was supposed to pick us up. As soon as the SUV arrived we stuffed our bags in the trunk and jumped in the car. By the time we reached home, we were exhausted. We spent 5 hours in the mall and tortured ourselves. I really need some rest. We all got our bags and said our good nights. I entered my room and when I saw the fluffy, cloud-resembling bed, I almost cried of joy. I dropped my bags and jumped on my precious bed. "I love you!" I screamed into the pillow. "Aw, I love you too, baby!" I turned my head to the side and saw a very wet Ryland exiting the shower with a towel around his waist. I was talking to the bed, I said in a tone. But I was talking to you. I missed you, won't you give me a hug? Those words brought back all my energy and I jumped him. I missed you too. He chuckled and placed me back on the ground. He went to change in the closet and I fell on the bed. I had dinner with the girls on the way and told Ryland to not wait for me. So now we would just sleep. My favorite part of the day, where we get to sleep. He came back wearing dark blue basketball shorts, only. Not that I mind. I was next to change. I wore a pair cute shorts and one of Ryland's Giants t-shirts. I brushed my hair and tied them into a braid. Brushed my teeth and then went back to the bedroom. Ryland was already in bed, the covers were pulled up to his waist. I climbed on the bed and switched off the lamps on either sides. Ryland snuggled closer to me and kissed my forehead. His touch made all my exhaustion go away. "Good night baby's bear," I said and I heard him chuckle. "Baby's bear?" he asked, his voice seemed distant by now. I'm your baby and you're my bear, so baby's bear," I said goggily. "Okay, baby, now sleep. You look tired." I thought he said something else, but I was already asleep. Chapter 41. Ryland. Ryland. Wake up. We have to pick up your costume. Come on. My sweet little mate screamed in my ear. Of course she has been excited at 9 in the morning about our costumes. She has been playing a major part in planning Nate's party. And I couldn't be more proud, but she is far too enthusiastic for it. Today is my beta's birthday. Finally the day when he would find his mate and stop bugging me and Sira. Like seriously, he has the worst timing. Just yesterday, me and Sira were in middle of something, in a very awkward position, when he had to interrupt us. When he finds his mate he will be busy with her. I felt weight on my back and groaned. Sira just loves me. Baby get off, I'm getting up now. I said and waited for her to get off, but she didn't. No, now you have to do all your work with me on your back. That's your punishment, she said. I would not consider it as a punishment. She is not heavy. And I simply love to carry her around like a baby. Okay, I said and slowly rose myself from bed. Her legs were securely wrapped to my torso and arms around my neck. I went in the bathroom and brushed my teeth. I had a shower last night, so I won't take one now. I went to my closet next. Wear the blue one. It looks good on you. Sira pointed to a dark blue polo shirt. If she likes it, then I like it. She got off my back and I stripped quickly, changing into fresh clothes. We had breakfast and left for the costume store. Nate is not here, I sent him to the neighboring pack for some work. Of course that was a lie, I spoke to the alpha to keep him occupied until evening. We reached the store and picked up my suit, which was now fitted. Sira said I looked like a real prince and that she would be having a hard time keeping other girls away. I laughed at that. When we reached the pack house, everything was an utter chaos. Everyone was running around, taking care of stuff. Sira excused herself to help in everything and I headed to our room. I placed the suit in the closet and laid on the bed and go down to help Sira. The decoration is perfect, a nice party atmosphere. The buffet is ready, guests have started to arrive. Ryland, let's go get ready, okay? Nate called me, he is on his way, Sira said, and we started getting ready in our room. She looked like a true princess. Oh my, what a beauty she is! Her long waist-length hair falling in small waves and minimum makeup. It looks as if she just arrived from heaven. I pry my eyes off her and quickly change in my suit. I look pretty good. Sira helps me with the tie and I wear my shiny black shoes. My hair was slicked back with gel. We both help each other with our gloves and we are ready. Now all of us are waiting for the birthday boy to arrive, so we can start the party. A roar of engine goes off and everything becomes silent. Footsteps reach the front door and opens to reveal Nate. The lights flicker on and everyone yells happy birthday to him. He looks truly surprised and happy. I and Sira approach him and wish him with a hug. Thank you so much, Ryland. It means so much, really. He said with tears in his eyes. It was all Sira and her squad. I said and he nodded towards Sira. And she just smiles back. A group of boys take him upstairs to get him ready for his party. He soon returns, all cleaned up. He was wearing a cowboy costume, which actually looked good on him. The party started and we cut the cake. The clock struck 12 o'clock and the party went wild. Now was the time when Nate found his mate, if she was here. He stuck his nose in the air and sniffed. He found an mate. Everyone was looking closely as he looked around the room, searching. He started walking to the refreshments table, towards a girl, with her back towards us. She turned around and much to our surprise, it was Cole. They stared into each other's eyes and whispered mate. I pulled Sira closer and whispered now he will leave us alone. Oh shut up. My best friends are mates. Oh my god. I'm so happy. She squealed. We have to announce our wedding too, by the way. I guess we can do it now, everyone is here I suggested and she nodded. When the crowd got over the shock/surprise of Nate and Cole our mates, I grabbed their attention and stood on the makeshift stage. Hello everyone, thank you for coming here and joining us for the celebration of our beta's birthday. And I congratulate Nate and Cole for finding each other as mates. Now, I have an announcement myself. I and Sira have decided to get married. I proposed and she said yes. I said and there were cheers and hoots all around the room. Soon enough I was separated from Sira by some guests. Somewhere in the middle, someone spilled juice on my suit and I had to go upstairs to clean it. I looked around for Sira before going. She was speaking to some lady from the pack. I entered our room and cringed. A faint pungent smell hit me. I looked around and saw a red piece of paper on Sira's dresser. I didn't keep it, not Sira and no one can enter our room when we are away. That only leaves one option. A rogue. I snatched the red paper and something was written in black, messy handwriting. I read it over and over again, making me more angry and overall upset. No dares to target my Sira. Whoever it is will pay. They don't know what they got themselves into. The stain on my clothes were forgotten as I strode over to the hall. I stood on top of the stairs and looked down for her. She was nowhere in sight. I frowned, worry and anticipation making me breath heavily. I even looked in the bathrooms, kitchen, hallways. I looked everywhere. But no sign of her. I asked around, but no one saw her. I even asked Leon, the lady she was talking to, but she said that Sira had excused herself to get some starters. I collapsed on the floor and let out a loud roar. The threat was true. They took her. My Sira. They took my mate. But I won't grieve. Oh no. I was going to get her back. I will make them wish they never crossed my path. They will pity themselves as to why they were born. I will wipe their existence from the surface of the earth. I stood up, wiping the wetness on my cheeks and standing in front of 1,000 anxious werewolves. Our pack is threatened. Your Luna is endangered, she is taken away. Whatever it takes we will bring her back. I roared in anger. Everyone yelled a yes alpha and the party mood was replaced by a feeling of dedication and anger. Hold on baby, I'm gonna find you soon. Be strong. The letter, hello Alpha. I see you have a really pretty mate. I am fascinated by her beauty and envy you for you own her. But not for long. I shall have her and if I were you, I would keep an eye on her. Yours truly Rogue. Chapter 42. Serena. The party was a success. Nate loved it and Ryland announced our wedding just about 10 minutes ago. I was tired of talking to everyone and my throat became dry. I need some liquid. I gulped down a glass of chilled lemonade and looked through some starters when I felt a jolt of pain in my head. My vision was clouded and my feet wobbled. I dropped on the floor and slowly slipped into darkness. I was woken up by sound of someone yelling. I groaned when I felt pain in my head. I tried to lift my hand but I felt a small tug and anguishing pain. My skin was burning. It didn't take a genius to figure out that I was chained with silver chain. I was still in my princess gown. Thankfully. I took in my surroundings. The room I was in, was dark and cold. It gave me a creepy feeling. I was leaning against the wall with my legs pressed to my chest. I felt like crying. Who are these people? What do they want from me? The sound of the door opening set me on full alert mode. A small yellow light flickered right on top of my head. I heard footsteps coming towards me. The person came face to face with me and I recognized him from the mall. He crouched down to my level and smiled a dirty smile showing off his ugly teeth. I told you we would meet again, sweetheart, didn't I? Now you will be paying for all the pain I have endured during the past years. And the cost is much more than you can imagine. His smile turned into a scowl by the end of his mini speech/threat. Honestly, I was not that afraid. At the beginning I was terrified but not anymore. I know Ryland would be most likely already looking for me right now, and he will be here. Don't get too used to the feeling of victory. You may have kidnapped me, but by doing that you have already sealed your fate, which is death. Don't you forget who my mate is. He is coming for me, just you wait. I said with confidence leaking from every word I spoke. The look on the man's face was of hate and irritation. He didn't hesitate to raise his hand and slap me across the face. I hissed at the burning pain on my cheek and I could taste the rustic taste of blood on my lips. Now, that will remind you to keep your words at check. Think twice before speaking in front of me. He snarled and banged my head on the wall behind, before standing up. My vision blurred and I was having a hard time keeping my eyes open. He released me out of the silver chins with the help of heavy gloves and left the room. I thought of ways to get out of here but found none. Then I thought of mind-linking Ryland. I tried to contact him, but something was stopping me from doing so. I guess the mystery man has wolfsbane around here. The man returned after a few minutes. He had a big metal box in his hand. He placed the box on the floor and looked at me with an evil smirk. Now, I will give you a glance of what you will be experiencing here, during your stay. Which will be till your death. He said. The man took out a big whip out of the box and wrapped it around his palm twice. Now remember, this is only a little sneak peek of what is to come. With that he brought the whip down on full force. The harsh material of the whip tore through the skin of my arm and I let out a scream of pain. He showed no mercy and kept torturing me to no end. He used whips, knives, sticks, silver, anything that could make me feel pain. When he felt satisfied, he packed the tools and exited the room, leaving me to drown in self-pity. My dress was badly torn, my face felt swollen all over and my arms were decorated in cuts and bruises of all sorts. My body was aching and begging me to relieve the pain, but I couldn't. The pain in my head grew with every thought. My eyes felt heavy and weak, black dots covered my view as I finally drifted into darkness. For the second time. This time I woke up with my whole body throbbing in pain. I shifted and laid my head on the side wall. No sight of the man, much to my relief. What had I ever done to receive this type of treatment? My life has always been filled with pain and hate. The only happiness I experienced was when I was with Ryland. Ryland. I miss him so much. He is the best mate ever. I can't thank the moon goddess enough to pair me with him. I don't know if I will see him again or not, and the thought of not saying final goodbye made my heart clench painfully. The thoughts made my eyes sting with hot tears that rolled down my swollen and bruised cheeks. I wiped them off and let my hands caress my dry throat. I felt something cold. The cold material of the ruby pendant Ryland gave me brushed against my skin and I couldn't hold myself. I burst into sobs. This is the gift he gave me on Valentine's Day. I remember the day perfectly. The promise to love me forever. The hope in me grew a little. That he will come for me, to rescue me. I was brought out of my thoughts by the sound of footsteps. Dread seeped through me and I started shaking. Smirking face of the man appeared in front of me. "How are you doing, sweetheart? Ready for more punishment?" he said and opened the box again. I crawled to the corner and pressed myself to the wall as if to disappear in it. He brought a silver knife this time and placed it on my swollen cheek. The touch itself burned me. He pressed the weapon with more force and it tore open the flesh of my cheek. I hissed when my salty tears mixed with my wound but could do nothing to heal it. He kept on beating and cutting me till I was on the verge of dying. When he was satisfied with the damage, he hummed and left me alone to die. "Where are you, Ryland? Come soon. Join our Facebook and WhatsApp group for more updates, link is given in description. Rest audiobook will be continued in next episode.